Good afternoon and welcome to the Tri-City Fairgrounds here in Toledo, New Ohio, for this afternoon's game between the New York Haberdashers and our first place New Ohio Debonairs. At this time, we'll introduce the starting lineup for the visiting New York Haberdashers. Batting first, the left fielder number 8, Stump Phillips. Batting second, the center fielder number 7, Hubie Goozle. Batting third, the third baseman number 46, Boob Jenner. Batting fourth, the right fielder number 40, Whiny Jagoff. Batting fifth, the first baseman number 28, Moss Wirtz. Batting sixth, the shortstop number 16, Stokely Hathaway. Batting seventh, the second baseman number 23, Trevor Knockmore. Batting eighth, the catcher number 19, Dip Pearl. And batting ninth, the pitcher number 21, Herzl Good. And let's get our handkerchiefs in the air for the Debonairs. Please greet them as they take the field for today's game. The second baseman number 10, Loud Juice Kendrick. The third baseman number 5, Blithely Cartwheeling. The shortstop number 2, Jake Steakhouse. The left fielder number 15, Ped Wingner. The first baseman number 3, Dollop Daisy. The center fielder number 9, Harry Tarcape. The right fielder number 30, Carrick Burns. The catcher number 24, Dimples Bugby. And taking the mound, the starting pitcher for your New Ohio Debonairs, number 6, Red Anger. And Debonair fans, let's make sure the entire state of New Ohio hears you. Let's get those handkerchiefs in the air for our Debonairs.
Good afternoon to you all. This is Tiddly Clowners. This is WHK New Ohio Radio for the New Ohio Debonairs. Big game this afternoon, the second game of this series between the New Ohio Debonairs, currently sitting at 13-3 going into today's game after a big win over the New York Haberdashers, their opponents today. Currently sitting at 9-7, 4 games behind in second place, tied with Chicago. I believe the last time I saw the standings, which I believe was in the paper this morning. Opening batsman is Stump Phillips. He's going to ground that one out right to the pitcher. Throw to Dollop Daisy in time. Now Daisy coming in today for Turf Tampa makes way. But it is Loud Juice Kendrick at second and Daisy at first, with Kendrick moving over to second today. That is out number 2 with Hubie Goozle, grounding that one to Jake Steakhouse. Throw in time as well, and of course we are seeing Red Anger on the mound before possibly a third out already with Boob Jenner at the plate. Red Anger 2-0 this season so far, 3.86 ERA. He's struck out 16 so far in his 4 starts. And he's got a whip of just about 1 even, so 1 walk or hits per inning pitched. And he's going to have 0 hits in the opening inning allowed, as that is a 1-2-3 inning to get things started for the Debonairs. So blanking the Dashers on their first at-bat in this inning, and we start things off with Loud Juice Kendrick, top of the order yet again. He has been batting .440, probably earned his spot as the leadoff hitter. He faces Herzl Good, who is 2-0 this season in 4 starts. Gives up an opening single. And Loud Juice Kendrick is on with a single for Blithely Cartwheeling. Herzl Good has an ERA of 3.71. He's struck out 12 so far. He's pitched 26 2/3 innings in his 4 starts so far. And that is going to be flown out to Hubie Goozle for out number 1. Brings up Jake Steakhouse third in the order. He's batting .306 today. Going into today, excuse me. Swings at strike 1. Put all of his might into that one. And that one's going to be in foul territory. Does it get to clear the field of play? Yes, it does fall into the second row of fans here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds here in Toledo, New Ohio. And what a diving catch by Stokely Hathaway for out number 2. Keeps Kendrick at first base and brings up Ped Wingner. Wingner's going to hit that one right to Knockmore. The throw in time to first base. It is one hit that strands Loud Juice Kendrick. And no score after 1. Whiny Jagoff in the cleanup spot with Gauze Blacksmith on the bench for some rest today. And Jagoff is batting 3. I misread that. He is batting .435 so far, and he's going to hit that one right to the glove of Harry Tarcake, who is in center field for Chad Tater today. So a lot of substitutions for these teams. Both have pretty deep benches, ability to switch players around. No surprise that the versatility has definitely helped them. That's why they're in the top half of the standings, as that's going to be an easy play at first to get Moss Wirtz out. Stokely Hathaway is going to drop that one for the first hit for the Dashers, and that's going to be a single. It gets right in front of Harry Tarcake, who had to chase that one down, found a good gap. And he's on with the first hit of the game here in the top of the second for the New York Haberdashers. Trevor Knockmore up to bat now. He's had a very good recent string of games. He's batting .449 with 3 home runs, 5 runs batted in, but 22 hits in total. And he's going to strike out looking at that one, so that strands Hathaway and keeps this as a scoreless game going into the bottom of the second. Dalapo Daisy back into the lineup. He's batting .257 this season. And that's not going to help his average. That's going to be a first pitch, grounded out. And that is that. Here is Harry Tarcake. As we had mentioned before, taking place of Chud Tater in center field today. Not much to report about Tarcake this season so far. He's only made an appearance in 2 games. But he did hit over 300 last season, 308 to be exact. That's going to be grounded right to Knockmore for out number 2, throw to Wirtz. And now Kerrick Burns is the deep end of the lineup, and he's going to be on with a single. So Burns proving his worth. That is hit number 9 of the season for Kerrick Burns. He's been batting .320 so far. And it's down to the catcher, Dimples Bugby. First pitch from Herzl. Good is a bit out. He's going to be. Are they attempting to walk Bugby? No, I think those are just a bit wider than thought. And he gets him. That's a big swing from Bugby. Make it 2-2. And he's going to pop that one high up into the air. The infielders are going to take a step back onto the grass. Trevor Knockmore calls off his compatriot Stokely Hathaway, makes the catch, and keeps the score at 0-2. Well, Dip Hurls, the backup catcher, starting today for Doug Lumps. Hurls is batting .316 so far this season. Only made appearances in 6 games. So he's made the most of what he's got, but this is, of course, pretty much a backup role. He played very well for Memphis Mudpigs in the Nursery League earlier this year. Going to ground that out to Jake Stakehouse, I believe, a former Mudpig compatriot. Former teammate of the Mudpigs, if I recall. Batted .460 for the Mudpigs, so no wonder they took a chance on Dip Hurls as a backup catcher role. And that's going to be Herzl Good, going to be on with a single. Well, Herzl Good, not so bad of a batsman. He actually batted .296 last season. He had 27 at-bats and 8 hits. So very respectable for the pitch spot. And it looks like this is a bit of a chain going on here as Stump Phillips gets on with a single, his first of the game. Batting to the second round of the batting order with Hubie Gruzel. And that's going to drop fair. That's going to possibly be a run scoring, possibly 2, as it's chased down by Ped Wingner. Yes, the sign is given, and the throw not in time. It is 2-0. RBIs 8 and 9 for Hubie Guzel. And Guzel moves to third as Boob Jenner grounds that one out with now 2 outs. It is Whiny Jagoff. And looks like he's going to pop that one. Is it going to stay in play? Yes, it's going to be caught by Carrick Burns, stranding Guzel on third, but 2 runs off of 3 hits for the Haberdashers give them an early lead in this one. Bottom of the third, it is Red Anger, the pitcher spot. And he's going to pop that one up on the first pitch, right to the glove of Trevor Knockmore. So they bat around once. It took Herzl Good 23 pitches to go around the order for the Debonairs. And he faces Loud Juice Kendrick yet again, who had an opening single but was ultimately stranded. And that's going to be out number 2, right to Trevor Knockmore, the throw to Mossworth in time. Not too much of an issue. Blithely Cartwheeling is up now. Going to be fouled for a 1-1 count. 2 outs for Blithely Cartwheeling. Was his man who substituted for him in the last game. Quincy Longpants was perhaps the star of the game, and he's going to stretch those muscly legs, those thin legs of Blithely Cartwheeling, and make it for a single to keep the inning alive for the Debonairs. A difficult recovery for Boob Jenner to make. He dove onto that ball, then of course after that composing himself and still making the throw. It was a very difficult catch and throw to make to get the out. It would have been impressive had he made it. I don't think anyone is faulting him for that. I think that was just good running as well. Ultimately, he is stranded as Jake Steakhouse pops that one out into foul territory. Whiny Jagoff with the catch. And we get things started for the Dashers in the top of the fourth with Moss Wirtz. Wirtz is batting .447 this season so far. He's had 38 at-bats, so he's not been finding... He started out as the first baseman before Gauze Blacksmith had his massive run of success. I think Wirtz has tried to fight himself back into the lineup. An average of .451 when he played for Charleston. He's going to strike out. So that is strikeout number 2 so far for Red Anger. 18 strikeouts on the season so far. Stokely Hathaway is going to pop that up on the opening pitch of this at-bat, and it's an easy catch for Harry Tarcake. 2 outs with Trevor Knockmore up. Knockmore struck out in the second inning. He's going to ground that first pitch to Steakhouse. And Steakhouse makes the throw. So 1-2-3 inning for the Debonairs to get the Dashers back out into the field. And here is Ped Wingner. Big swing on that one for Ped Wingner, and a bigger swing. Makes contact. Oh, there's no way that one is staying in there. That is to industry. And the Debonairs on the opening batsman of the fourth inning get one back. That is home run number 7 for Ped Wingner. And back-to-back, is it possible? No, it's going to be to the glove. Dollop Daisy is hitting it to the glove of Stump Phillips. So currently we are sitting at 2-1, bottom of the fourth. Thanks to the Ped Wingner home run, and that's going to be an easy one for Harry Tarcake, hitting it right to Hathaway. Going to Wirtz. 2 outs with Carrick Burns up. Burns had a single in the second. He did not play. He did not start yesterday, as Dudley Zuencastle got the start, but Burns did come in as a pinch hitter, if I recall. He had quite a good appearance as a pinch hitter. And I do not remember, but I do know that he did at least have a hit or 2 on his score sheet, if I recall. Gonna pop that one up. It should be easily playable by Trevor Knockmore, and that's out number 3. So Ped Wingner's home run is the only damage done for the New Ohio Debonairs in the fourth inning. It is 2-1. And Dip Hurls starts things off here in the top of the fifth. This is WHK, New Ohio Radio. My name is Tiddly Clowners. You are listening to the top of the fifth as Dip Hurls, the backup catcher for the New York Haberdashers, gets things started with an opening single for the visiting team. It was a ground ball to Kerrick Burns in right field. Hutzel Good had a single in the third inning to get what was ultimately the 2-run inning started. And that's going to drop into fair territory right past the glove of Blythe. Cartwheeling Good is on yet again with a single. Runners on first and second with Stump Phillips, who had a single his last at-bat. Swings at the first one. No outs so far. Runners on first and second. A 2-1 lead for the Dashers. Stump Phillips did score the run in the third that was batted in by Hubie Guzel. On deck right now, and that's a potential. Oh, it is overthrown. Oh my goodness. Well, there's going to be an attempt at home. It is. Dip Hurls will score on the error. Oh my goodness. Well, Stump Phillips reaches on an error, I believe. And that is a terrible, terrible mistake to make for Dollop O'Daisy. And again, it's the fielding issues are continuing as Hubie Guzel, well, hits into a fielder's choice. So 1 out currently. 1 run has scored, and that is going to get past the diving glove of the Debonairs. A single makes it now 4-1. This is quite a run being put together by Boob Jenner's 12th RBI this season. Quiney Jagoff 0 for 2 today with 1 out. That should potentially be to Steakhouse. Back in time to Renga. No, it is not. It's a fielder's choice for out number 2. It puts runners on the corners. 4-1, 2 outs. And now we are seeing Moss Wirtz at the plate. The throws are just not coming in time for the New Ohio Debonairs. The fielding is questionable at best these days. And when so many substitutions were made, you have to wonder if that was ultimately part of it. Well, that ends the inning for the Haberdashers. They do get 2 runs off of 3 hits, 2 fielder's choices, and a reaching on an error. But it is 4-1 is the scoreline that matters. Dealbill's Bugby starts things off. Hutzel Good is just about to hit. I imagine he will hit 50 pitches this season. This inning. But beg my pardon, please. And he's going to strike him out. Looking, Dealbill's Bugby 0 for 2 today. That is strikeout number 13 for Mr. Good, and he faces the pitcher Red Anger with 1 out. Takes ball 1. And he's going to be on the single. So Anger gets things going for the Debonairs, and that is only his 2nd hit of the season. Which brings us up to the top of the order again, and loud Juice Kendrick, who's going to hit that one right past Stokely Hathaway into the gap. It's going to put runners on first and second with 1 out. Now go to Blithely Cartwheeling, who is going to pop that one into the air, into foul territory. Dip Hurls calling off everyone. He's got it just outside of the shade, and it is 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. With Jake Steakhouse. Doesn't get good connection. Right to Hathaway. He goes for the fielder's choice to end the inning. The throw to third base, and Boob Jenner forces it. And that will retire the side for the 5th inning. Top of the 6th. 4-1 for the New York Haberdashers. Stokely Hathaway on the first pitch takes a stab at it, and it is shallow into center field into the glove of Harry Tarcake for out number 1. This is Trevor Knockmore 0 for 2 today. Make that 1 for 3. He is on with a single that just skates by the glove of Jake Steakhouse, finding that gap between third and shortstop. He is now on with a single, and Knockmore's average going into the day is 449. That is impressive. Amazing that they put him down in 7th in the lineup, or that they even think to... It's amazing that he had trouble finding a spot in the lineup, even so. But Dip Hurls, 1 for 2 today. And that looks like it's a potential fancy Dan to Steakhouse. No, not in time. Well, it is the story of the day is double plays not materializing. A fielder's choice. Well, if this is out number 3, then we are okay. Herzl Good is going to pop it up. Yes, it will, in fact, be out number 3 after all. And we go to the top of the 6th after no runs scored in the top of the 6th by the Dashers, the Haberdashers. 1 hit and 1 runner stranded on base. Ted Wigner having a bit of an issue after his home run in the bottom of the 4th. He grounds it out, bring up Dollop or Daisy, 0 for 2 today. Herzl Good going through his rough average of about 6 innings of pitching. He's made it into 7th before, I believe, based on the quick math that I can do in my head. This is about right for Herzl Good. I think they'd like to get him through the 7th. Maybe into the 8th if his pitch count is still low, and that is an easy way to do that by getting the easy out and retiring the side very quickly. After 6, it is 4-1 for the New York Haberdashers. And it's the top of the order for the New York Haberdashers here in the top of the 7th, as Red Anger still in it. And that is going to get past the glove of Loud Juice Kendrick. My goodness. Well, they just sort of gave Stump Phillips the single. And you got to wonder what the fielding for the Debonairs is doing today. They are just really disappointing themselves. And Red Anger, you can just see the anger of Red Anger is not... Well, he's trying to hold it in as best as he can. It's 1-1 the count facing Hubie Guzel with a runner on first. 4-1 the score, by the way. This is New Ohio Debonairs down by a score of 4-1 to the New York Haberdashers, and that's going to be another single up the middle. Hubie Guzel is on. First and second, it's Boob Jenna. Had the RBI single 2 innings ago. And he's going to ground that one out, but it does in fact move the runners. So Whiny Jagoff will face Bear Butts. This is a very interesting pitching change as they go to their closer. And this is very much a situational, you have to feel, as they do get the 1 run, but 1 run scores. So Whiny Jagoff is called out at first. A runner is at second. That is Hubie Guzel, and I believe Stump Phillips did in fact score. This will be out number 3 as it is popped up by Moss Wertz. The blindly cartwheeling. He is 0 for 4 this game. And that will bring an end to the top of the 7th. We all have a good stretch. It is 5-1 now in favor of the New York Haberdashers. It'll be very interesting to see as we get to Herrick Burns, who will call that is the first out, grounded right to Moss Wertz, steps in the bag. Dimples Bugby is up, and on deck is, well, it's the pitcher spot. Will it be Bear Butts, or will they go back to their bullpen? We're going to find out in just a second, as that is right to Hathaway, throw to Wertz in time. And yes, it will be Chud Tata coming in. And he is unable to outrun the throw. So Chud Tata coming in momentarily, and it is Shirley O'Burley. That I guess will bring a conclusion to this game for the Debonairs. Well, it's not a good start for him as Stokely Hathaway opens things up with a single. There, of course, are still 2 more pitchers in the bullpen for the Debonairs should they need them. Pork Snow and Darby Gigglewater are, of course, available. As Bearbutts came as a situational reliever, I don't really understand that sort of strategy, but nonetheless, he came in, he got his out, unfortunately gave up a run, and it is now 5-1, but Bo Burley trying to just maintain, make sure that 5 stays a 5, 2 outs, 1 runner on second. That is Stokely Hathaway had the opening double to lead off the top of the 8th. It is Dip Hurls. Is that going to drop? It is. Tar kicking, unable to get to it in time. And the throw straight home is not in time. It's an RBI single for Dip Hurls. It is now 6-1. That is RBI number 7 for Dip Hurls. And diving into foul territory is Dalapo Daisy. Giving the second out, registered by Herzl Good. We go to top of the order. Stump Phillips hits that one high. Is it far enough? It is to industry. Well, my word, the bats of the Haberdashers are coming alive. The latency of the bats of the New York Haberdashers is not where it was yesterday, as they do hit it to industry to make it 8-1. Stump Phillips, that is his 6th home run of the season, and that is RBIs 13 and 14 to make it 8-1. Yubi Guzzo pops it high up into the air. It is caught for out number 3, but it is quite the hole for the Debonairs to be in. 8-1. Bottom of the 8th, Loud Juice Kendrick. We're at the top of the batting order. And Herzl Good remains in this game. He's batted 7 innings already. Foul. He's only thrown 66 pitches, 65 going into this inning, excuse me. And add 2 more to that list for out number 1. Bring up Blithely Cartwheeling, who's only 1 for 3 today. One-on-one the count, and Good's control seems still to be very much where it needs to be. This is a fantastic pitcher. This is always going to be a tough matchup. Red Anger just unfortunately not able to withstand it. And the bats and the fielding, it just did not come together for the Debonairs today. You kind of feel this is kind of a foregone conclusion, as that was Cartwheel popping it out. And that goes right to the glove of Jenna. Can he beat out the run? Yes, he does. Will it be a single for Jake Steakhouse? His first hit of the game. He is 1 for 4. And a pinch runner is going to come in. It is going to be Quincy Longpants. Oh my goodness, it hit her so good. Goodness me. Well, that's not good at all. You hate to see that, of course. And Delmar Uptown is going to come in for Herzl Good right now. We are very concerned about that. Horribly bruised. And it seems to be, well, the bases have loaded now. With Dalapo Daisy on first. And 2 outs. It should be popped up to Hubie Goozle. Harry Tarcake goes 0 for today. 0 for 4 for today. And it strands 3 runners. That really has been just the story of the game, has it not? Boob Jenna will start things off. Cartwheeling will move to shortstop. Longpants in third. And it's going to be to industry again. My goodness me. You run out of things to say at this point, as the New York Haberdashers have turned the bats from low power to high power.
Stay right.
It is home run number 6 for Boob Jenna. And then, of course, that home run brought to you by Industry Brand Fragrances, Perfumes, and Colognes. Because when you're out on the town and a lovely lass wonders how you can smell so intoxicating, you just look at her and say, my dear, that is but the smell of industry. taking a bounce as it goes right to the glove of Old Daisy. Throw to Bo Burley in time. Out number 2. That was Moss Wirtz, who was 0 for 5 today. It's not a very good day for Mr. Wirtz at all. Stokely Hathaway, 2 for 4. And that's going to be up the middle. On with a single. 3 for 5 now for Mr. Hathaway. And Trevor Knockmore, who's 1 for 4 with a single in the, if I do my math correctly, that is the 7th inning, I believe it was. Oh, the 8th, excuse me. The 8th inning, Trevor Knockmore had the... Oh, it was the, actually, it was my mistake. But it's going to be out, so, again, it is quite the tall order for the New Ohio Debonairs. They're down by 8 with 3 outs left to get them in. Herrick Burns will take the plate. Boz Blacksmith coming in at first. And Delmar Uptown. There's a bit of information about Delmar Uptown. He is the closer. He's got 1 save so far this season. He is 2 and 2 in his record. Looking to get a save and give Herzl Good the victory, I would imagine. That is out number 1 as it was blown out to Whiny Jagoff. Dimples Bugby, first pitch is swung at. It is foul. 0 and 2 the count. That is ball 1 thrown by Delmar Uptown. 2 and 2. Delmar Uptown had 5 saves and a 2 and 2 record last season. He's going to strike out Bugby, which is strikeout, I believe, number 3 for him this season. And in comes Turf Tamba to close things out. First swing is foul. Tamba's batting .375. He's going to be on with a single to keep things alive. So we go up to Loud Juice Kendrick. So a single for Turf Tamba coming in as a pinch hitter. Not quite done just yet. Still a tall order. Still 8 runs behind, but 1 and 2 the count. Runner on first is Turf Tamba. That's going to be Loud Juice Kendrick working the pitches very hard. Delmar Uptown, 18 pitches so far. That is going to go high. Is it going to be far enough? It is to industry. Well, a 2-run home run is number 6 for Loud Juice Kendrick. This season, RBIs 11 and 12. And blithely cartwheeling with a 9-3 score. Now down by 6. And this is very much one of those cases where it is not over until it is over. And guess what? It is not over yet. High in the air. Is it going to drop? It is searched by, and Stokely Hathaway gets the catch. That will end the game. A late charge in the bottom of the 9th, but it is ultimately not quite the substantial amount of run production for the Debonairs to get the win. The home run hit by Loud Juice Kendrick, of course, brought to you by Industry Brand Perfumes, Fragrances, and Colognes. Because why smell like anything other than Industry when that is the option on the table? Nothing smells as fresh and as intoxicating as Industry. Found wherever smells are sold. Well, that is going to conclude this game for us here on our broadcast. The New Ohio Debonairs suffer loss number 4 of the season. They go to 13 and 4. The New York Haberdashers improve to 10 and 7 and go back to 3 games behind the Debonairs, who are still in first place. The conclusion to this series does happen on, is it tomorrow, I think, or is it a day off? It is a day off tomorrow, and then Aubrey Bona takes the mound for the Debonairs to face off with Beef Nuggets. So again, 2 very competent pitchers. The second in the lineup in the rotation for both. We certainly hope to hear good things about Herzl. We hate to see an injury of any type. It is a very dangerous game, a very dangerous job, but we certainly hope to hear from that, as of course we know that Mule Wayner did in fact survive as well, and will make a recovery as well in that one. Mule Wayner, of course, had the horrible injury a couple of games ago. But anyway, that is the final score for this one. The New York Haberdashers get the win. 9 runs off 15 hits. To New Ohio Debonairs, 3 runs off 11 hits with 1 error on the books. And the winning pitcher is Herzl Good, going 7 2/3 innings. Before giving it up to Delmar Uptown, who does not get a save recorded, but comes in for 4 out, gets in 4 very important outs, one of them a strikeout, gives up a home run. However, does the job to maintain that very high lead that the Dashers had at the time. Red Anger is the losing pitcher, going 6 1/3 innings, allowing 5 runs earned, striking out 2, and allowing 10 hits. We thank our friends at the Honeyweed Tobacco Company for bringing us today's finest dandies of the day, the Honeyweed Tobacco Company, fresh hand-rolled cigarettes grown in the tobacco roads of the Carolinas. They are good for any time, any place, the doctor's office, the dinner table, a movie theater, a ball game, or just when you're tucking your kids in at bed. You can sing them a lullaby while enjoying a fresh honeyweed cigarette. Third finest dandy of the day is Boop Jenner from the New York Haberdashers, going 2 for 5 with a home run, 2 RBIs in that one. Loud Juice Kendrick is the second finest dandy for the Debonairs, going 3 for 5 with a home run, a 2-run home run. Pretty much the majority of the offense came from Loud Juice Kendrick in the leadoff spot. He went 3 for 5 today, so that is impressive, with 2 singles and the home run that we mentioned. But Stump Phillips is the finest dandy of the day. We'll get a complimentary carton of honeyweed cigarettes, going 3 for 5 with a 3-run home run to give the Haberdashers that massive 6-point win by a score of 9-3 in this game. That is the Honeyweed Tobacco Company, reminding you as always to smoke wheat every day. That is going to do it for our broadcast today. We thank you for listening. Unfortunately, the Haberdashers got the win over the New Ohio Debonairs. And the pivotal game in this 3-game series happens in 2 days' time. As we hope you join us here on WHK, New Ohio Radio, the home of the New Ohio Debonairs. My name is Tiddly Clowners, and I wish you, as always, that may your days be dapper and evenings elegant.